I decided to do this earlier than usual. I guess all of them are earlier than usual. Um, because I didn't know if I could keep dragging out how long I would eventually, just get around to doing this today. And I also, don't know what the entirety of my schedule will be. So I just decided I'll try to get it out of the way. Um, I find it very amazing that there seems to be this very high contingent of things on this website where I can be put in a really good mood, and then within a short span of time, I can just be really disillusioned. And I was in a very good mood this morning because there was a video I'd been alluding to for probably 2 or 3 months about a person who I think is a liar. I think is just not a good individual in the slightest. And I was so happy to write that script because I kept putting it off, and I eventually got around to doing it last night, where I just sat back and said, I'm not going to go to sleep until I finish this. And I actually did end up going to sleep before finishing it, but that was okay because when I got up, the first thing I did was continue working on it. And it was just nice to finally have that finished. And I'll put it up tomorrow probably and just cancel tomorrow's stream because I have the whole thing recorded. I just need to edit it. It's going to be about maybe 20 minutes worth of material. But anyways, I was in a really good mood because that video had been something I just kept putting off over and over. And I had received a message this morning from another person. And depending on how they respond to the last thing I sent them, it dictates whether I'm going to do a video on the situation with them this week. And I've got to warn, I've tried to not use profanity in the majority of stuff where I'm speaking because I know there are a lot of people who get caught up in curse words versus the actual point of the upload or the video. But I'm very tempted to speak in a more vulgar way than I usually do because I just want to solidify the fact that there are certain things that are done to me as a content creator that just because they happen more than once or just because I don't, swear that much doesn't mean they're okay. um, I had talked about a person who I was really sick of earlier this year that I had started speaking to again, and they had basically taken on more responsibilities. And one of those was being a VA on my project. So VA means voice actor for those that are not aware. And I had also mentioned that I felt betrayed by this person because my modus operandi when I do anything that requires other people on it is to give them the time to do it. So to basically say to them, hey, if you need time to do this, let me know. I'll give you a couple of days, some weeks. Usually I give them some weeks and then in more extreme cases, some months, because I'm a person who has worked on things while being in school, while just, I understand that you have various things you have to do as an individual. We're all multifaceted and we have various activities. But when I see a person who I would say has benefited from that characteristic of mine, allowing people to have as much time as they need to do something, and their decision is to basically, by all accounts, stab me in the back, I don't think it's fair or good or decent, or I really have no way I can rationalize in my mind how that makes any type of sense. And I just think it's really sad that I was writing the script for this video, again, with no idea that this person would do this morning. And I mentioned how, with a lot of relationships, be they working, romantic, platonic, it seems as if people want all of the benefits for themselves, and then you just kind of, get screwed over with no care or concern for what you would like to see done. Um, and I thought about all the different times I've given VAs extensions. I've told them, hey, if you can't do this week, that's fine, whatever. But I noticed it never seems like I get an extension. I ever get someone who says, you know, does this benefit him? Is this something that is helpful to him? And I always justified it by saying, well, they're doing it for free. So that in and of itself is a benefit, or they're doing it at all, which is and I've expressed appreciation for that activity. But you see my point that when you go out and you tell people, hey, I'll do this for you, I'll let you do this, whatever, there's this very weird um, characteristic they have where they just have to screw things up somehow. There should be a reward for the type of derangement that went into what was written to me earlier today. I think it's Oscar winning. Um, I like to be consistent. I like to do things in an orderly way, and certainly when I speak to certain people, maintain that consistency. Um, I just think most relationships are easier to do, or you know progress through, if people act one way because you know what to expect. But yeah, I really hope I don't, when I do this video, if I do it, that I can remain calm, because I it's going to be another one of those things where I'm probably going to try to script it because I don't want to forget anything that is an important detail. But I'm also going to show screenshots and basically give people all of my reasons for why what was done today was really disgusting. It just seems whenever you try to do something, there is a contingent of people who, you get involved, and they find a way to screw it up. And I wish that that wasn't the case. I wish when people signed up for things, they actually meant to stick with it. They didn't try to uh, maneuver their way out of it. I mean, if you look at some of the things that are written to me, you would think I kidnapped these people and made them do something that they didn't want to do. And if you look at anything they wrote before today, you would know that was anything but the case. But you ask yourself, is that someone who just grew up and decided that you were doing something they were no longer interested in doing, or do they literally just wake up one day like, are there more bipolar people than I thought? And again, if I do this video on Tuesday, I'm going to show all the different screenshots where the person today said one thing, and I've got screenshot after screenshot of them doing something else. And again, the point of doing an edited video where you give the various images of what's taken place is to simply say to people that while there are valid critiques that I'm sure could be made of probably anything, including my conduct, when you consider how much I put up with, it's a lot less. The burden of responsibility is not on me as much if you're looking at it objectively, because it's basically a group of people who just, for whatever reason, decide to have a problem and create a problem out of nowhere. I watch you a lot. I got a lot of pride. The people that's in your audience are white, and that's their tendencies. Um, well, I mean, I've seen some goofy behavior from people of other ethnicities, so I'm not going to assign that just to Caucasians. I really wish that people would act normal and stop behaving in ways that seem to be just unable to do anything productive. And I'm going to make this point during the video this week, but if I did what is done to me on here to other people, I would be called out for it. I would be spoken of in a very negative manner. It wouldn't be seen as acceptable because people would say, "How could you do this? Why would you say this?" They would actually hold me to some level of a standard. But when you're online and you're dealing with, I don't even know what you would call these individuals, people who have like real life plot armor, where in fiction, plot armor is basically this thing that stops a character from being affected by something that they should be affected by. Um, that's effectively what a lot of these people seem to have, where if you were to do it, you would get in trouble. But when other people do it to you, it's okay. Yeah, I should also mention that I think it was earlier today or yesterday, I received an email from one of the places I applied to, and they stated that the usual spill. Oh, we are not interested in you. Uh, Thank you for applying, even though we completely wasted your time. But I thought it was funny that, not really in like a ha ha way, but just ironic that you get screwed over by people that you need to say yes so you can live, and then you get screwed over by people that you voluntarily talk to. The only thing I'm worried about with the video on Tuesday is the profanity, because I, again, only don't use it here outside of damn and hell and crap, because I want people to not get caught up in swear words. They try to go, "Oh my God, he said a bad word." And there are people who actually, in the midst of cursing themselves, will get upset that somebody else swears. Like, I've seen people who curse every day get upset when, like their child, let's say, plays a video where someone uses profanity, or the hypocrisy. Like, I can curse in front of you, but if you curse and if you watch a video of someone swearing, it's suddenly an issue. Well, I'm feeling pretty little today, music fiend. So I guess that's helps sort of. I'm just tired of giving people breaks and then getting knifed in the back. I have this user who I unbanned after one of my mods banned him. Only person I've ever done that for. And he writes some crazy crap on my stream. I say, "Hey, look, can you just apologize?" He decides an apology is not that big of is too big of a deal, but then it's not too big of a deal to make a video that's almost half an hour long on me. And I just thought to myself, here's the only person in the entire history of me being on this website that I went out of my way to unban, and they do that. One of the reasons I even gave a that much of an effort to say, "Can you say sorry or apologize for doing this, whatever," uh, was because it was effectively a way of not warning, but sort of indicating, "Hey, I really don't like when you do this," but also suggesting internally that maybe if the person is told directly, "Please do not do this," they will not do that. Because I've had people who've said to me, "Hey, don't do this," when we speak, and I would abide by their wishes. In the video I'm going to put up tomorrow, I'm actually going to show well, I don't have screenshots because this wasn't a call, but there was a person who didn't want me to play music when we would speak or to talk about certain things. And I didn't do either of those because I want to talk to that person. So it's nice that other people get to have rules and whatnot. But when I have some, it's suddenly an issue. I am glad I waited to do the stream because I was able to calm down a little bit. I mean, when I looked at that trio of messages, I I'm pretty sure if my phone was a kid, I would have had was it CPS called on me from just the amount of swearing and whatnot I did. I guess if you don't see a scenario as being that bad, in the sense that the person gives you no way of knowing that they think what they think, and it just comes out of nowhere, like a force of nature, it's a lot harder to tolerate it. It's kind of like if someone smokes and then they get lung cancer. Well, you did something that theoretically could have been used as a way of noticing what was happening before. But when you give someone as much time as they need to do something, um, you offer them extensions, and then they start trying to pretend as if this hasn't been the case. I don't get it. But this is a running theme. You give people the benefit of the doubt, um, some kind of break, and then you get whatever you're trying to do broken. You give them a hand of courtesy, and they give you a knife to the back. It's really sad too because I have said before I try to not have drama in the stuff I do. That's why I blur out names. That's why even if I'm talking about how ridiculous someone is, I go out of my way to not identify who they are, because my goal with the stuff I do is just to do it. It's not to get caught up in the back and forth. So this person said this. Um, I talked about the one voice actor who, after hearting my last comment to her, unfriended me. And then when I asked what happened, I got blocked by this person. And I, even with someone like that who I felt completely betrayed me, I didn't put up their name. I just showed, I actually didn't show screenshots. That was one of the streams I did at the motel. But the point I'm making is I try very desperately, even with people that have done disgusting things, to keep their identity under wraps. And it's been hard to resist the temptation of revealing who they are. And that would, I always internalize it in my head as basically saying if I actually did show their identity, it would be me just kind of like being super vindictive, not actually thinking that that's going to make things better. Because people will say this person said this about me, and then some individuals, depending on how big you have a group of supporters, will go and mess with that person. Uh, but I mean, you look at these people where they get break after break. They stab you in the back, and then there's no comeuppance. No one ever says to them, "Hey, what you did there wasn't all right." It's not about canceling someone. It's not about making them pay forever. It's just, at what point does what I do matter? And the way I'm treated matter? At what point do people get upset because of when, I or someone else has been wronged? Because I was looking at this person's their social media page. I even contemplated talking about this a few months back, and they were all up in arms over this series of protests. And I was thinking to myself, it's so sad that you can get involved with making someone's stuff better and you choose not to, but then you want us to believe that you're so concerned about this group of people that have been so oppressed and all that nonsense. It's just hypocrisy. It's kind of like if I said I want people to adopt animals, and then I keep seeing some stray dog walk back and forth in my neighborhood every week, and I never adopt it. So I had the chance to make a difference, and I just kept refusing the call. And again, I'm not obligated to do that, but I'd be a lot less. I'd probably be taken more seriously and seen as not grandstanding if I practiced what I preached. And I think if I did a lot of what these people do, it would be hell for me. You know, I couldn't imagine signing on to someone's project. I want you to understand there are a lot of people, a lot of different voice actors, where one of their tactics they do is because they're such big hairy pussies. Instead of saying, "Hey, I don't want to do this anymore. No, thank you. I appreciate it, but I'm not interested anymore." Instead of some direct indicator that they're not interested, they will ignore your messages until you just go look for someone else. This has happened so many times I've lost count. It's happened at least, I think, 5 times, if not more. And another tactic they do is they sign up for stuff and do a little bit of it. Let's say you have a show and you want it to be, I don't know, 200 episodes. Um, they'll do maybe 5 or 6. They'll claim their stuff isn't working anymore, and then you'll believe them because you have no way of proving that the person was not telling the truth. And then all of a sudden, you see that your thing is on their list of credits for the stuff that they've done in the past, meaning that they have developed a scheme where they jump on the projects, do a little piece of it, and then try to build up this big resume because they know most people aren't going to ask, "How long were you on that particular thing? Did you do what you said you would do?" James writes, "I guess because they don't want to hurt your feelings, I guess." No, it's not about feelings. They are pussies who are too scared to send a stupid email to a man that can't do anything to them. And again, if you see, come back on Tuesday or Wednesday and see the video I put up, and you'll get all the screenshots. I'll show you some hurt feelings. I'm not even trying to, talk with any bravado, but if you read what was written to me today, which again will be posted depending on if this person responds in a way that's not entirely ridiculous, um, you'll understand what my distaste is for. I've never been that disgusted reading a single message before. Like the first one kind of had me go, "What?" The second one, me go, "Oh my God." And the third one just had me wanting to vomit on the floor. And that might sound like hyperbole, but I just have never seen someone that I've been on a, project with for long term who just like woke up one day and decided, "Hey, I'm going to try to find every conceivable way to not be involved with doing this." People have found ways to really rip me off. I'm just tired of scammers. Um, Let me address what Slum Digger wrote. How was your week? Or how was this week, rather? Well, on Monday, well, do we start with Sunday or Monday? On Monday, I had to address the person that spent several minutes crying about my background. Uh, did I get stood up on Tuesday? I was trying to call somebody and they didn't answer. I was disappointed. I still wouldn't say it was that bad until today. I mean, it's God. I'm really flabbergasted. and I had half a mind to turn on the camera and just go off because there is something wrong with people online. I realized that in a way I did not before. Like when I do the video tomorrow, I'm gonna show some screenshots of this one clown that said like go die or whatever, and just little nasty stuff people have written. But when you compile that and you stick on top of that people who you interact with for multiple years, and they just wake up one day and they're like, let me purposely try to sabotage this as much as I possibly can. um it's too problematic. Like I just don't understand what this thing is with people where they can't let someone ever have a collective group of individuals who try to work together. There has to be someone that wants dysfunction. It happens every couple of months. And I haven't seen Envoy recently, but in one of the streams he wrote, well, it sounds like you need some more voice actors or you need to get some new ones. And I don't think I directly responded to him, but I've made this point of mentioning that getting voice actors is not as easy as people try to make it seem. Um, if I were to count the number of people that just jump off, come on, that by itself is one thing. But even if you get one of them who says, I will record this, I want to do this, how many months or weeks until they decide that's no longer the case? I've had ones on there for 2 years and they just decide, they wake up one day, oh, I'm no longer interested in doing this. And that's supposed to be okay. They're saying this to someone, mind you, who gives them as much time as they need, extensions whenever they want, and they have the goddamn nerve to tell that person that they don't think they can do this anymore. I've never seen, and I'm not trying to boast about myself or anything, but I've never seen a director for a project that bends the knee and flexes their schedule for this many people and still get screwed over. Imagine being upfront about what you want. I'll give Slum Digger an example. Let's say Slum Digger. What's a good way to give a parallel? Slum Digger wants me to, I don't know, draw him a avatar for his channel. You have some people who make videos where they, instead of being on camera, they put up a little cartoon picture. I say, all right, Slum Digger, I'll do this for you. And he draws the avatar. I draw the avatar rather. And he says, oh, can you make another one? I say, yeah, sure, whatever, fine. I do another one. And then over the course of 2 years, I do another 18 or 19 of them. And at no point when I'm drawing these pictures for Slum Digger, do I ever say to Slum Digger, "Can you please play me?" And then one day Slum Digger asks, because now it's customary, you draw him a different, avatar for his video. And I go, "Oh, okay, but how much are you going to pay me?" Well, what the hell? You never asked for this in the last 2 years. Well, uh, I I'm mentally strained. I mean, it's the same kind of logic where it's two people who have a set way of doing things, right? And then one day, one of the persons involved just says, "This, no, I got to screw this up. I have to find some way to make this not work anymore." This is what they do. This is what people online have decided. It's just like when you had the individuals that would write to me and say, "Oh, your channel is not bigger because," and I told you it's the same thing. It's always someone who doesn't even upload stuff that wants to lecture me on what I need to do. Um, but it was the same thing with people who come and lecture and say, "Hey, you need to do this, do that." And then you do those things and you still get the same number of views, same people watching it. I gave the example of how the camera on my phone is much better than one on my computer, which is what I'm using now, and how I use the one on the computer because if I'm doing something that is 30 plus minutes, it's very straining to my arm to hold that the entire time. And I mentioned how even when I did videos with this supposed clearer camera and audio, I was still getting less than 100 views. So I had literal proof that it didn't matter if the audio and visuals were better, that I would still get the same result. Slum Digger writes, sucks that you have to deal with that. That is extremely unprofessional. If you want a paid gig, there is a right way to go about it. Listen, I don't have a problem with people, and I'm going to mention this on Tuesday. I don't have a problem with people getting paid to do something. I have a problem with someone signing up for something that they knew they were doing for free, and then amid doing that for free, deciding uh, I'm now seeking compensation, which I never asked for before. Do it or I'm out of here. That's literally what this is. You just decided, hey, remember that thing that we had that worked where even though I don't get paid for this, in exchange for doing this for free, I get as much time as I need to do the crap. You say no, that's no longer good. It was good for 2 years, but it's no longer good anymore. You know, let me give you a little dirty secret. I was gonna make a top 10 like worst things chicks have ever done to me video, and it was just gonna be like this big countdown list of all the horrible stuff that's occurred because there's a lot of stuff I still haven't shared on here. And I was gonna mention the one chick that did the VA gig for a little bit, and then the one that was from the No Good Deed Goes Unpunished. And I was gonna say during that that if there was ever a person, because I said before, I always try to keep people's information out of this stuff because I don't like, I guess, exposing someone. If there was ever a person who I was so pissed at that I just wanted to put their number up, their name, their pictures, it would be that particular whore because that person screwed me over in multiple ways. And when I thought about what happened today, uh, I got to say this one's running in good contention. Now I called the other one a whore because she was like playing games with the romance stuff, but this one, it's like when a person just says something that isn't true and it's so false that you like if God was truly a figure that actually intervenes in people's lives, they would just combust into flames from how hypocritical they were. That's literally what happened here today. Voice actors turn Hollywood Part 4. Well, it doesn't look like a good. I hope it's a good rest of the week, but based off of the way these people act, I don't. I mean, who's next to do this stupid crap? Am I gonna wake up tomorrow? Somebody else. Well, now that you're paying this person, can you pay me too? Again, I tried to be consistent. I told this person up front, "You're doing this for free." They had no problem with that for 2 years. And then I guess because they hit hard times, now we got to grind. Now we have to suddenly rearrange our contracts. And God, this is the price you pay for telling people up front what you wanted to do with them. Because I don't speak in riddles. This person was told directly, "I will not pay you," and they were fine with this for this number of years. And now it's suddenly a problem. Megumi says, I can really feel your discontent and frustration in the stream with these clowns. It's yeah, but no, Megumi, this is very light because I'm very much debating doing a video on this by Tuesday of this upcoming week, and during that, I will just swear. I'm not even gonna write a script. It's just gonna be me showing screenshots and cursing out you know, the video, the camera. Slumdigger says typically if you are doing something volunteer, then at worst you lower your dedication to it if you need to, not extort the creator for money. Yeah, Matt, but this is what I'm talking about, Slumdigger. You signed up for this thing after the creator explicitly told you you would do it for free. And now, oh, please give me some, please. Yeah, Terminator, people a lot of times will screw you over. James, please don't write that. Please don't do that. Because you should know more than most of the people in this chat how difficult it's been to try and make anything with people that are not myself on projects. If this person fell through hard times, they should just leave the project and focus on their life. Well, remember, this is a person who, the man on the screen is a person who gives people as much time as they need, with the sole stipulation being that they communicate when they can possibly do it. So them just leaving the project, remember, I negotiate with them. I try to work with them. Them just leaving the thing just screws me altogether. And that's basically what they're doing. Pay my ransom or take a hike. I wish I could do that to people and get away with it. I wish I could sign up for something for free and then, hey, can you pay me, please? Please? I know I said I would do this free of charge, but you know, I just woke up today and decided you must pay me. Oh, but we'll get into the you know, the pricing because look, my thing is, and I want to make sure that my stuff isn't twisted because people like to play that game where they're selective of what they hear. I don't mind someone getting paid doing something I make. I just don't like the idea that someone that signed up for something for free is now basically trying to ransom me. And then it's like, let's say you give this person this stuff. I'm not going to sit there for a month or two with my, you know, twiddling my thumbs while you record stuff at the same rate. This was this morning, Megumi. It's insane just how they suddenly flip their minds and feel like jeopardizing what they have with someone else, resulting with that person being screwed over due to the aftermath. Exactly. So I hate people online. They will turn on you and flip and switch and juck and jive every other day. Please pay me, unemployed person. Please pay me. Is this live stream monetized because I just watched 2 full ads? It should be. I could have sworn I clicked the monetized thing before I mean, whatever. I know that video I do this week probably won't be monetized. I'll be very shocked if it is. It'll be the most amazing thing ever. Like, I really don't like cursing and you know, uploads, but like, people do not get the rage I have. And it's like I said before, I could tolerate the chick thing because even though like I think broads are like too stupid with all the selectiveness they have, I can get where someone would be picky about who they go, you know, who they're in a relationship with. But when you talk about a guy who draws out all of his show, writes every script, edits the whole thing, voices the most characters of anybody, and he can't make his video that usually doesn't even get 100 views because some dingbat won't sit down and read a piece of paper, I have a problem with that. Especially when that dingbat is given multiple months in some cases to do that. Oh, I contemplated doing a video about him. Well, I mean, Ruben, nobody cares about kids or any other people that got negatively impacted by him. I was going to do a video. I hadn't seen his channel in 10 years about how I left because I didn't want to watch stupid, racial stereotypes and how nobody cared. They were all just sub to him, and now suddenly you give a damn. I mean, it's just people are grandstanding. It's kind of like that old video I did from 3 years ago that keeps getting comments from people that are now so outraged over what was said. I'm like, this video has been up for literally the entirety of Trump's presidency, and you just now saw it. I'm not even going to say its name. There was some hoe that was like, please delete this video. I'm like, yeah, ho, you're about 1,000 days late. I really am someone who tries to give people a fair shake. I understand that sometimes I'll do a stream, I get annoyed, somebody writes something, but when it comes to people I work with on stuff, very seldom do I get repulsed by what they do. I had this one VA who, for example, has not been responding to my messages. And they explained to me last year that they go long periods without logging into their account. And I was really, trying to rationalize in my head where I could send somebody a message and they just keep not responding. But I decided if I got rid of that person, it would only be because they keep not responding, not because I don't like the job they did, not because I don't like their voice, just it would be entirely based off of how they conducted themselves, their lack of responses. I even mentioned the VA that I gave, 5 months to record some stuff. And again, if I do this video on Tuesday, this cursing filled mess or trash heap, I'm really not excited to make that thing, but I feel like I have to, because people don't get why this stuff bugs me as much as it does. I'm going to show how hypocritical this person is for doing what they did. Just show you some of the gaps of time where they didn't do anything and they're now claiming they're so stressed out. Because I want you to see what I give to get BS back in return from these clowns. I really just despise, if I had to pick a least favorite occupation, just like that one group of people that I don't like, it would be voice actors. I'll tell you why. A lot of them are really talented, they have voices you like, but they have this internal, almost mental, like a psychological version of a time bomb, where even if the person that they're working with treats them well, even if the person that they're trying to record stuff for gives them the benefit of the doubt, extends an olive branch, whatever, they still screw them over. They tell that person, hey, I know you've been helpful to me and you've accepted me for who I am, but screw you. Screw your story. Screw your schedule. I mean, this is what they do. And they've been doing it for 4 years, which is why this one is as problematic as it is, because when people stay on for a longer time, you start to get a little bit more trust. Because with this person, that's all right. They take a little while to do stuff and they're kind of slow. not mentally, but in terms of how, because people love to twist my words, but they're kind of slow in terms of how often they record stuff. But at least they record stuff. At least if you prod them enough, they'll sit down, they'll do it, whatever. But no, they have to find a way to mess that up too. Can't have nice things. Just can't have good people, even if you do things for them. They have to find a way to to give you that good old knife to the aorta. It's really sad that, and I guess maybe what gets me the most annoyed by it is that you actually, well, it's not about having friends, Kevin. It's just if you give people the time to do something and they refuse to do it anyway, and then you have someone that signs up for something they know is, they're doing for free, and then all of a sudden they want to get paid. Like, what else can you do? Like, I can't, because a lot of times when I do a video, especially a scripted one, I sit back and I think about my role. I say, hey, did I do this correctly, incorrectly, whatever? Like, I've had a few occasions where I'll kind of say to a VA, this is ridiculous. Please just do this. Yeah, Kevin, it's not that, whatever. I'm not going to keep repeating myself. This isn't, I'm not a real life version of a hamster wheel. You can rewind the stream and see where I talked about how difficult it was to hire people and get more individuals on this stuff. But I said that a lot of times I look at my role and I say, what else could I have possibly done to make this any better or make this different? Like, should I have been impatient? Should I have said, hey, ho, record this stuff right now? Or should I have been what I was, which was willing to acquiesce to their schedule? So I said a lot of it is just being damned if you do, damned if you don't. You're looking for these people to record, they won't. The elections aren't getting delayed, Hassan. That was just a stupid comment by the commander in chief. Oh no! Oh no! 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 Ruben, the person who did this is not a normie. The person who did this does want to be, or actually is a VA. That's why I said when we get to the thing on Tuesday, all of it will be revealed. It seems like people of this generation can't be bothered to do things, especially if it doesn't make them feel good. Well, listen, that's what gets on my nerves, that they don't want to do anything. Like they just keep playing this stupid game. Man, music think, come on. Tuesday is never a stream. Hell, tomorrow might not even be a stream. I mean, I have no thoughts on them. I think it's stupid that people are trying to use his death to bash Trump and pretend like that was the only COVID area he went to. Yeah, I usually just use Pizza Hut. So I never went to, what was it? What is it? Godfather's Pizza. I didn't go over there. Yeah, Um, when I started the what are you sipping there? I don't know why it matters. What's relevant to the grander theme of the stream? Yeah, I don't get why you went there either, James. But you know, people do what they do. I don't get why he went to that virus infected rally. I don't get why this person is now trying to swindle me for coins. None of it makes any sense. People just do things. No, they're trying to say that because if they should blame any official, it should be the governor of that state because she ordered for the mask not to be worn or not a requirement. Oh, thanks, Slum Digger. Yeah, it's just hard to hang in there when people. I'm not gonna like quit doing uploads or anything or just give up on everything. It's so aggravating when you try to work with people and work around whatever nonsense they have going on outside of what you're doing, and you still get screwed over. There is an internal um, thing in people that just makes them act really screwed up. Now I think about it, the not normie people are very shallow minded too, based on how the average cosplay model discusses her daily activities. Yeah, there's just something wrong with the way people behave and they act toward others. And again, it's not about being perfect because I'm sure I could fault myself for things too, but I do try to work with people and their schedules. I guess the most disturbing part of all this is that they just flat out don't care. That's really what it is. I mean, you know, um, it's hard. I don't usually like to psychoanalyze people, but if you can go from doing something for free to now suddenly wanting to get paid for it out of the blue, to where you're like, it's like a ransom basically, like you're holding your voice hostage. That just shows they don't care. You could just flip on that person that quickly. To be honest, people won't do anything unless they're gonna get something out of it. Well, I'm gonna have to disagree with that, James, because the person did it for 2 years without getting paid. Like that's why it's weird. And then also, I told you I've had multiple people do the entire thing without getting paid. So how do these other people manage what Pixie does? Yeah, Megumi, I really wish people would like think a little bit about what they're saying, and that's why I had a little bit of hope because I've met people who actually do what they say they're going to do. But it just seems like among that group of people, there's always those one or two or three that screw things up for me because they don't care. There is just something wrong. A lot of people are going crazy because of. Oh, well, I talked about that. I did a parody of that where I said that instead of we've got COVID-19 and Disco 20, because that's my nickname for the virus that people have on Discord that makes them act like they're losing their minds. Probably needed money for something serious. Well, I'm not going to speculate on what they needed for. I just know that they literally out of nowhere went from doing something, without a cost to now suddenly you must, you know, that's my point, that I want people to be consistent. It's basically just the person who got tired of doing something and they're trying to see if they can squeeze out, you know, more from it's just a con game. Besides, I don't even want to imagine what would happen if I paid them and then they, still were playing this game like they're not actually doing the thing they said they would do and they're getting paid for it. I might make an illegal video. I mean, the one on Tuesday is probably going to be vulgar, but it's not going to. I'm not going to do anything that actually crosses the line, like put up someone's pictures. No, Kevin, when you read this piece of paper, you have to request payment for that too. But remember, only request payment after you've done it for 700 days for free. It's just that out of the blue, they suddenly demand money from something that was mentioned to them at the beginning, that it is a free project. Yeah, they want me to give them favoritism. Everybody else does it for free, but you're the special person. So we have to make sure we pay you. Imagine if I did that. I come on some project and then I just demand that I get paid now, and everybody else does it for free, but I'm the special person. They would call me a narcissist in like 10 seconds, but for some reason they get away with it. Kevin says people are parasites like Superman's villain. Oh, you mean that purple guy? They knew from the beginning about it. That's the crazy part. Yeah. And Megumi, not even just like going from wanting, doing it for free to now wanting to get paid. You have to understand that there were certain things I did precisely because I didn't pay these people. I gave them as much time as they wanted. And you can't have both. You can't get a bunch of time to do something, but then get paid for it. It's not. That's why I said I just people online they make everything so difficult for no reason. No, they're expecting to get paid on their 1,000th day. Remember, they did this for free for years, and now suddenly it's a problem. No, it's not for what they've done. It's for what else they would do. Like I said, I'm tired of people acting crazy. Like I just am sick of, you know, oh, I act one way today and then tomorrow, to hell with you. Like, can we get some consistency? Can I have a week go by where someone that acted decent before doesn't try to act like the new heel or villain that's going out of their way to screw things up? Imagine if I was like that. Like, today I'm doing political stuff, tomorrow I'm talking about sports, and then a week later I'm talking about computers. Like, it just act consistent. Yeah, I've never been this dreaded by doing, again, I'm going to do the thing on um, Tuesday or Wednesday because I'm trying to illustrate how upset I am with this. I'm just tired of holding it in. I'm tired of trying to act in this articulate manner. And then people, they still treat you the same way. They still tell you to just keep it hush hush, just get over it. Ranziel says, I guess down the line they thought you know. Zeal, don't start doing that. This person gave no indication whatsoever before today that they would like to receive some pay. It just never happened. Like let's not play the, psychic, the telepath game because you don't know what went in their head. We know what they put on that website when they were typing. That's what I'm going off of. Stuff I can actually prove and show. They just not concerned if the person actually went through with their silly demands. How about the other people who took part in the project? They will also need to get pay as well. They just don't understand the ramifications of what they are saying effectively jeopardizes the entire project for everyone. Yeah, they want special treatment. And again, they want special treatment out of the blue. Again, Megumi, imagine I do something for you for free for 2 years and then you wake up one day after you send me some stuff and I'm like, hey, so is this ending anytime soon? And you go, what? No. Oh, well, can you like, and again, I'm going to show how much they want. And you tell me if there's any reason I should even put up with that. But like I said, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't, because you didn't do anything to this person. Now they're jumping off of it. They're being unreliable. And then if you replace them, who's to say the next person will do the exact same thing? It's not about taking things at face value. You're saying that, what is it? What did you write? You guess. I'm not guessing. I'm showing facts. When I did the video on Tuesday, I can show every message they wrote to me. They didn't say one damn word about needing to receive compensation ever before today. Well, James, they used a really weird metric system. Like in my experience with dealing with people who want you to pay them, they're like, oh, well, this many lines equals this much. And they told me something about, what was it? A quarter per word or something. And I was like, what? You really expect me to go through each of these scripts and count every word that you say? Like, you know how crazy that sounds? Yes, James, that's what they said. But Zeal, how would you know their point of view if they've never said it? If they don't say their point of view, how can you know it? See, when I say they did this, that's because I actually see it. They wrote it down somewhere. They could say their point of view was screw this person after 700 days. We're not going to know until they actually say it. So we can't read their mind. Well, in exchange, I think I did that person a big favor by letting them have as much time as they needed to record stuff. And in exchange for my favor, right to the back. No, Megumi, we're all Professor X / Jean Grey / Emma Frost. I don't think it's any more complicated than someone wanting to get money from a news source. It's incredibly stupid to do it the way they did. Well, it's also incredibly inconsistent. Like I said, man, people just they like to ruin things. No one can ever have anything decent. Because I guarantee you, if I replace this person with somebody else, it's going to be the same story. They're going to do it for a little bit, then they're going to go, I don't feel like doing this anymore, or they're going to stop responding like the first one did for that same role, and then you go and meet another person. They like it just goes on forever. That's why I feel like just saying to hell with it, because I'm just like it's funny, making the thing itself isn't the issue. It's the people that are on it that act like, and it's always the same people. And then when you get rid of one of them that acts crazy, another one acts crazy. I honestly can't see how you were in the wrong in any way of dealing with that VA. I respect their decisions. Oh, well, you know how they are, Megumi, on here. When you're a man, they flip everything on you. Well, you should have paid this person from the start. Not, oh, the person's in the wrong because they signed up for something that they knew up front they would do for free, and then decided to now want to get paid out of nowhere. Like with the video tomorrow, I'm gonna put up about this guy, and I've mentioned this before. He actually said that I couldn't get hired because I'm so famous, and all these different businesses know who I am, and they just say, "No, we're good." A better way would have been, "Hey, I know this has been always been unpaid, and you don't owe me anything, but I've hit hard times, and I'm looking for ways to earn more cash. Can we negotiate some comp? If not, I will come back to the project when I can." Yeah, that would have been 99 times better. And listen, I don't have a problem with paying someone for something, but the price has to be adjusted in a way that's not unreasonable. Like, let's say, I mentioned being unemployed, but let's say for 30 episodes, the person wants, I don't know, $100 or 90 or 80 or something. I'd be willing to do that. But when you're talking about 25 cents a word, like what the? So again, I have no problem with paying someone. It's just the fact that this person was fine with not getting paid before, and now is suddenly acting like you owe them something if you want them to do any more. Well, I don't really know what they were trying to convey, because they asked me a really, in my opinion, weird question, then followed up by them saying that they were like trying to move on to the net, and I was like, what the hell? Again, if you saw my correspondence with them, oh, you know what? I just remembered I have the perfect message to show for them saying one thing and doing the other. Oh, that'll be in that video for sure. God, I'm such a good prognosticator. Like, I just predict certain stuff people do. I just wish they would prove me wrong. They wouldn't do those types of things. And in response to what Slum Digger wrote, we don't even know if they actually hit hard times. Yeah, James, if you don't believe me, I can put the message in the video. Like, I'm not making any of this stuff up. My entire correspondence with this person has been through text. So everything they said to me, I can show you. Not making any of this up. It's all been proven, or it will be proven, in this video. It seems they were just very demanding to a project. Oh yeah, that's the kind of ego that they have. Hell, if I'm gonna pay you 25 cents a word. I might as well go get Kevin Conroy or Mark Hamill or Frank Welker. One of the big wigs. That sounds like something they would want. I actually did one time when I was in high school. I was trying to make a video based off of this show from like 10 years ago, and I actually did contact one of the voice actors, and they gave me their price, and it was like I don't even remember what, but it was something I couldn't afford, so I was like, I'm good. But she sounds like that person. At least that person actually has, they were in a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, I would be laughing too if it didn't mean like I don't even know how I'm gonna make my show anymore. What, hire somebody else so they can do this exact same stupid thing, except with a little spin on it. Instead of asking for coins, they just stop responding, or they try to pretend like they can't do it anymore for whatever. Like I'm sick of this dumb game. Yes, they were told up front it was a non-paid project. Did they care enough to keep that in mind when they tried to price gouge me this morning? Nope. I'm really pissed. I was smiling a little bit earlier, but like you might be able to notice there have been very few actual gags during this. Like this is not cool. It's just someone trying to get something out of me, and then me being expected to just kind of bend over and take it. Yeah, the new people do the same thing as the old people. I guess we should. I guess you should cancel the show then. I mean, these VAs are crazy. And that's the thing, most of the current ones don't act this way. It's the same people acting ridiculous over and over again. I don't know what the lesson for this is. Do I just stop working with people? Do I need to just do projects where I voice every damn body? Like I don't, because I feel really strained when I have to sit here and keep trying to appease people who claim they were appeased before and now suddenly have new demands. Like that's crazy as hell. There was a person who left me a comment where they were talking about a self-fulfilling prophecy, and I actually mentioned to this person when they first got on my thing this thing that people do where they jump off and whatnot. They come on a project, they stay on it for a little bit, then they jump off, and they're doing the exact same thing. And it's like you'll accuse me of making this happen by literally doing everything I could to make sure it didn't happen. I could see if I said, "Hey, you better do this right now, you little whatever," but that didn't happen. I don't even get, yeah, James, I don't even get this stressed out over the chick thing. Because again, that's like we already know the nonsense they do with most of the guys at this point. But it's like you do a show where you literally do everything other than the voices, or all of the voices rather. And then that one part of it, which is important, but it's still one part of it, is why it doesn't get made. I just think something's wrong with a system like that. That's like if James was able to build a house and the only thing he couldn't do is put a door on it, and he needs somebody to put a door on it, and I can put the door on it, but I choose not to. the same thing. He does the majority of it. Someone has an important but small role in comparison, and then they refuse to do it, and then he gets screwed, and it never gets made. Oh, it's been a very excessive amount of garbage. Very, very, very excessive. When it comes to the chick stuff, we all can laugh, but this is just sad. It sucks to have a passion you work hard at like this, and people can't be straight with you. It's not even about not being straight. It's just, uh, you take the time to make something, and you give people the time to participate, and then they just say to hell with what you're trying to make. Um, I've got this new set of reasons for why I won't do what I said I was going to do. I just think there's something wrong with this system. I'm tired of people being able to do things to me and then feeling like they can get away with it because it's online. And again, this isn't some kind of like threat or whatever, but like you had the broad who signed up for this. She got mad over something that happened in her real life and then started ignoring my. I mean, I already talked about that person, but it's the same thing where because you're online, they can treat you any kind of way they want and you can't do anything about it. Remember the trader from December, the one that blocked me because, I mean, with no explanation, just woke up one day and said, I'm going to unfriend you. And then if you ask me why, I'm going to block you after our last conversation was pleasant. And I gave them a break and didn't have them record any more stuff because I couldn't be sure of when the thing was coming out. Like, all these people act this way because they feel immune due to the fact that it's online. Yeah, always at the mercy of others. Always have my hands tied. I waited just like when I did 37. It took 6 months to do that one episode because I had to wait for 5 months for a VA to record something. And then they still didn't end up doing it. I had to go get somebody else. How is that fair? How is that right? Of course they wouldn't do it in person. That's why with this individual, the reason I think about this, known them for 2 years, we never had a phone call, never spoke on, they had Discord, none of those websites do we ever have a voice to voice conversation because it's a lot easier to act like a stupid dingbat when you type things to people. When you actually have to go vocally, it's more difficult. It's just like on Wikipedia when that guy was writing that crazy stuff to me. It's a lot harder to get under someone's skin when you actually have to think out what you're saying while talking in a visual medium. That's why most trolls write stuff. I just think it's wrong. And I want to know, when will these people get their comeuppance? And again, this isn't some, like, I don't speak in riddles. I mean, when is there going to be a point where others look at what they do and say, this is wrong? Like, hey, you signed up for that person's thing and they gave you as much time as you needed to do your part. And now you're trying to price gouge them. That's crazy. But nobody ever gets to say that. You never see people coming together and saying, this is ridiculous. This is malpractice. I understand the term because they really are at the end of the day. Yeah, they're pansies. You're so damn afraid to speak to someone voice to voice because your little scamming self will be confronted over ridiculous behavior. I told you a lot of them who do that little thing where they like to jump off but not say anything, they won't send you a final message. The way they act, they make it sound like if you say my name 3 times, Armand, or I pop out and grab you by the neck, from how cowardly they act. She wouldn't do this on anything she had to, let's say, go into a studio for. They wouldn't do that. But because you're online and you're not getting thousands of views, you don't matter. We can treat you like a peasant and like you're, you know, like you're just a piece of trash. Like you're an empty potato chip bag after we finished consuming what's inside of it. We balled you up, threw you out. But then if I do a video where I take all of her messages and show them and put her name in there and pictures and start cursing her out, I'm the villain. Not the person who screwed up my thing, not the person who did something one way for years and then tried to flip things around. No, I'm the person who there's a problem with, the one who's consistent, the one who gave this person as much time as they needed to participate in his thing. Funny how that works. No, the internet makes people feel like they have plot armor, like they're invincible, like they can talk to and treat people any kind of way they want, even those that treat them fairly. Remember what happened with the one that was in the, what's that video? What was it called? The one, no good deed goes unpunished. That was someone who got upset at people in her real life and then decided to punish me for what people that are not me were doing. So because people made her upset at her little position or whatever, now I'm no longer going to speak to you. And you saw her admit it in the messages I showed in that video. Again, nothing ever happens to these people. Nobody ever says, why would you do that to that person that was nice to you? Why would you do that to that person that, gave you a bunch of breaks and, like what, and acquiesce to what you wanted. Like no one ever confronts them over this screwed up way of treating people. It's just, hey, you tried to make something. Well, you're stupid for thinking that this person that did the thing for this period was going to actually do it. Yeah, plot armor at its finest online. You try doing what they do in real life and see if it works out for you. You try going up to someone and doing something with them for 700 days for free, and then on the 701st, hey, can I get paid for this? And see how non-ridiculous people think you are. I really hate a lot of the people on these websites. And it's funny too, because when I was on the website I met this person on, I got so disgusted with the inability to really do anything, right? The people that just kept acting the same way. You ask, hey, can you do this? No. Hey, can you do this? No. That I said, I'm not going to use that website anymore. And sure enough, I haven't used that website other than to speak to people I met on there at all since I think halfway through last year, late last year, because of stuff like this. There is something wrong with up and coming VAs. There is just some issue with them. Some digger says, like in their mind, I'm not real because I'm not sitting next to them. They don't empathize with his cause like they would someone they knew in real life. Because it doesn't affect them. I'm just going to read my name on it. I'm just going to read this stuff on a piece of paper, and my voice will be in this video and, whatever. And I'll get around to it when I feel like it. And if I just say to hell with it, oh well. It's not my project, not something I've been trying to do for years. People have a refusal to put themselves in someone else's position. And this is very evident based off of what you heard from in this stream. Um, I very likely, when I do the video, will swear, use profanity, all the different words I don't usually use, because it has to be understood. This is not like going on some dating website and a chick stops speaking to you, or uh, some random person blocks you on some other website. This is the ultimate betrayal. Someone that you trusted to do something, who you gave time to do that thing, right in your back. Yeah, it is scumbag behavior. But look, they can justify it to themselves. They can say, "Oh, well, you know, I did this for you, so you know that outweighs me going out the way I did." It's kind of like if, let's say, Megumi is a woman. Just in this hypothetical, I take her out on dates, and I pay for the meals, drive her back to her house. This happens 10 times, right? On the 11th date, after Megumi exits the car, I pull out some rifle and blow her right in the back. The way that this person acts, they would justify that very sharp departure from the way they acted before by saying, "Well, you know, um, I did this stuff in the past. I paid for these meals for you in the past, so it's all right now that I'm shooting you in the back out of nowhere." It's a middle finger. It's a stab. It's a knife in the back. It is every screwed up thing all manifested in one. And like I said, I don't trust these people anymore, because like the ones that stay on longer, there was always this thing of how you feel like you can trust that person more because they've shown they're willing to be on this for, you know, some long period of time. If you just give them time to do it, they'll do it. And look at what they've done. Like, look at this person. They were on this for 2 years, and then like what, in 2 seconds they changed their mind. Now they don't want to do it anymore unless I uh, bend the knee. Amicable and professional to, well, look, there was some unreliability in the past. I mean, look, I think the video, if it's done in the right way, because again, I'm not going to put this person's name out there. I am going to show the screenshots because I just want to prove what I have to say. Um, but I just like, you know, I'm already getting treated like the villain. You know, I don't get to have my hard work actually pay off. I can tolerate a video not getting 1,000 views or whatever, but not being able to at least make it is where there's an issue. And not being able to make it, not because you don't have the technology, the tools, the talent, because someone doesn't want to read a piece of paper. Like, I'm just so sick and tired of doing everything I can to get these people to stay on this stuff. And then they do anything they can to mess it up, to ruin it, to be liars, to be scammers, to be con men, to be cheaters, to be snakes, like someone else that's going to get talked about tomorrow. Like, it's too obnoxious. Like I said, my policy on this website, along with any other website, is I don't bother people. I just try to make my content, and to say it pisses me off that I can't make something because someone is too damn lazy to read a paper without wanting me to pay them an arm and a leg for a line is an understatement. So I'm gonna try to write a script for the video. And if I don't like it, I'll just do the swearing and screaming thing. People who are just as passionate as you are and for the right reasons, just because they want to make a good show, not easy to find. I mean, it's just clowns, and it's turncoats. Like, again, if a broad was working on some show, and I did lines for her for 2 years, and then all of a sudden I start asking for compensation to do more of it, people would say I gypped that person, that I tried to involve them in a style of professionalism that they never should have expected from, toward me, because I signed up for free. But that's why I was saying, when you're a man on here, when you're a guy, especially one that's actually trying to do stuff, you don't get any breaks. That's why I was saying that even when I was like reading the comments and thinking of what I was going to say in this video, I already know someone's going to find a way to twist that and make it seem like I did something wrong, because that's all people are good for, finding ways to make screwed up crap seem like it's all right, or like you could have prevented it. It was completely by random. Well, I'm just tired of getting backstabbed. I hope this has been insightful. Like I said, I just wanted to make my stuff, and there is something wrong when people can sign up for something, receive nothing but handouts, assistance, sympathy, extensions, whatever the hell, and then still behave in this manner, and then no one calls them out for it. So I'll do I might maybe I'll stream on Monday. Yeah, well, if you'd been dealing with nonsense from VAs for 4 years, you would not be saying that. But like I said, when this person signed up, I actually did think things were finally getting better, because they were recording stuff consistently. They always, had a month where they didn't do anything or whatever, like a little break period. And now it's just buffoonery. Like, it's garbage. And then again, if I get somebody else, what's to stop them from doing the same stupid stuff? Like, I just want people to act consistently. I consistently gave people time to do things. I consistently, just like I'm tired of this thing where people find a way to use some kind of mental blockage to get themselves out of working on something. So thank you for watching. I might stream tomorrow, probably not, depending on if I finish that video or not. And I'll definitely stream on Monday. See you later.